Okay, dreamer please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is gonna be slightly different where we are gonna be checking out all the various statistics in the Korea server, and this will give you a better idea of who to prepare and what to prepare. And as you can see here, I'm having Clemif in the front, there was Teo and Jave and Karma on my team. And in fact, in this Korean account, these heroes were all obtained for free. They were given as selectors and it was part of some event. So this is the statistics feature in the Korean server. If you are familiar with 7 Nights 1, content statistics in 7 Nights 1, it is something similar but just more polished. Here we start off with the PvP meta. As you can see, all these heroes are the more popular heroes used and are the strongest heroes used in PvP, Korean PvP right now. And as you can see, all the preferred pets and formations are listed there as well. The top team is of course Mythical Awakened Ace, and then you have Platin, Clemif and Ming, used by about 15% of players. And as you can see, you can even click on the hero and look at their gear. Okay, the first two are attack speed sets. One is the mythical one and one is the non-mythical one. 18.7% of the players there use a non-mythical version. And you can see also his accessories. Okay, he's using mainly the Rage accessory, as you can see here, the Revive accessory, the Ace earring, which just got released on Global Destiny set, okay, and also the other Rage accessory set. And yeah, these are his gears, preferred gears. This is the Ignore Defense one. Okay, so in future, I mean, you could work towards these pieces, okay, and prepare. I won't say prepare for Ace specifically, but these pieces are of course used very commonly on other heroes as well. But main thing is you know what to gear him properly with when he appears. Okay, so yeah, this is the point of this video. So we're gonna look at different heroes. In this case, Platin here, he is mainly used with the attack speed set. Second best set is the skill up set, and there's even a mix set, okay, for him. For the accessory side, he is also on the Rage and Revive. Okay, these two are the most important and most commonly used accessories, even all the way till now in Korea server. You can also see that they do give him the Ace earring as well. On top of that, he's also given the Mirage set, okay, and also the Lethargy set and the Evan necklace. So it is very clear at this point which two of the newly released accessories are the most important, okay, for you to farm, which is the Ace earring as well as the Evan necklace. Clemif is using a skill up set, okay, 25% of the players use that, so definitely something that you want to work towards as well if you don't have a proper skill up set ready. For the accessories that she uses, okay, includes the Rage and Revive. She also has the Mother Nature and Evan's necklace, and she also uses Rudy's necklace in future. Okay, this one I think gives defense, okay, or something like that. And then we also have Ming. Ming has risen back to the top of the Korean meta after her remake. She is mainly on the attack speed set, as you can see, and she is also using her Ming gear. So the Ming gear, okay, I'll just talk about it right now because some of you may missed out the video on the Ming gear. Basically, there are two pieces of the Ming gear. The first piece increases damage dealt by 5%, decreased damage received by 5%, and increases the hero ultimate skill gauge by 30% at the start of the battle. If you give two pieces, increase damage by 10%, decrease damage by 10%, and increase the hero's ultimate skill gauge by 50% at the start of the battle. And once the ultimate skill gauge reaches 100%, it cannot be decreased. Okay, so in future when there are heroes that actually decrease ultimate skill gauge, this will make a lot of sense, and this set of gear is gonna come in pretty clutch for certain heroes that really rely on their ultimate skills. Okay, on top of that, you do see Ming also being given the defensive set. Okay, sometimes they want her to have more bulk. For the accessories wise, pretty typical over here, but you can see she uses the Indomitable as well to reduce damage taken and also increase her ultimate skill gauge. She also does have the Evan necklace and the Chris earrings, which will come out in future. So for this particular team, most people are using the New Year Jave pet, which I have highlighted in my pet video, so I will link it above, you can go check it out. This is going to be a very good pet, event pet that comes out. Just that we are not sure how Global is going to do it, because they may require you to use cash, they may, just require you to do certain daily stuff. And of course spend rubies, of course. So it really depends on how global is going to do it. But as you can see, 25% of the players using this team also uses this pet. And apart from that, there are other Legend Plus pets which are really hard to get anyway. Okay, so one of the most important formations for this team is a new formation called the Infiltration 2. Okay, what the Infiltration 2 formation does is that on the front line it increases the attack speed and it increases status effect accuracy for universal heroes. Okay, so that explains the Platine, I guess. And for the middle part, it not only reduces skill cooldown, but it also increases status effect resistance for support heroes. And finally, for the back line, it increases attack speed and increases attack. So it is a very strong formation for PvP. As you can see, 61% of the players use this formation, okay, for this particular team. The second one is actually the attack speed 2 formation, I believe. Okay, and the last one is the block formation. So for the next team, I think it is more of a speed-oriented team, as you can see from the Eileen pet. Okay, we have Platine, Clemith, Rin, and Teo. So we're going to take a look at Rin, what she's actually used with. For the Korean players, 32 or 33% of them use attack set on Rin, with about 14% using the attack speed set, so that's about already half the player base. And then for her accessories wise, she's kind of given the Destiny set with the Rage and Immortal mainly. Okay, she has a very straightforward accessory combination, as you can see. I'm not too sure why they actually give her the crit set on her, the crit weapon gear set. Yeah, that's kind of strange because she does crit on every hit, but ultimately overall her setup is very straightforward. Take note that only 3% of 3.6% use this particular combination of accessories. As for Teo, he's using a full crit set, also with the Ming set as a dual combination setup, and then he also uses the Destiny set and the Ace earrings with the Rage and Immortal as well. So again, pretty straightforward setup for Teo. When he comes out in future, this could be something you will want to run with, for him. Then we have a more accessible team right now in the global server, and that is Alice, Karma, Shane Plus, and Rudy. Okay, with the Rudy Plus pet that also got remade, okay, to become even stronger, and a block formation is used. So for Alice, mainly about 22% of the players use a triple block and double defense setup. Alternatively, you can use a triple defense and double block. For the accessories, you can see that she's not given Rage, but more of a Revive, as well as Mother Nature. And she also uses Evan Necklace and Karin Earrings, which I have already talked about in the accessory video, so do check out that video as well. Okay, but on top of that, she also can be used with Lethargy and Indomitable accessories. And yeah, basically it's really about building Alice's bulk so that she survives very well in this particular setup. But I don't think you have to worry too much, because in future, as your heroes get stronger and when jewels come out, okay, and Rudy Plus is going to be a very strong hero there, okay, with the Rudy Plus pet. For Karma, in this case, 36% of the players use him with the attack speed set, and the most commonly used set accessory pieces are the time acceleration with the revive, as well as the lethargy with the revive. Okay, so these two are the ones that you will want to aim to give your Karma. Even at this point, I think he is usable with these setups, depending on what team you're using. Of course, if you're using him in a speed setup, then I think you want to go with the revive and the rage and the mirage in global context. Okay, but in future, if you're moving forward with the defensive setup, you can actually opt to give him these time acceleration and lethargy accessories as well. Then we have Shane Plus. She's used with the attack speed set, with a second choice being the crit set. Attack speed set is used by 28% of the players. Now in this case, you don't really see much of a rage accessory. There's only the revive, Destiny, Ace earrings, and the cold set ring, which does damage every 5 hits, I believe. Because Shane is such a fast damage dealer, it is actually good for her. And for Rudy Plus, his statistics are more evenly spread out. As you can see, there is a 5-piece defense set. Alternatively, you can use him with a 3-piece defense set and 2-piece Ming set, or a 3-piece defense set and a 2-piece block set. For accessories, the more commonly used ones are the Lethargy set, as well as the Revive and the Evan necklace. And you may also want to give him Indomitable to reduce the damage he takes as well. And as you can see, all the other teams, they are more or less, a mix and match of all the more popular heroes. Okay, going back to the second team, you can see that the best pets used include the Legend pet Eileen, okay, for the attack speed. So she is definitely one of the top pets you can get right now, okay, amongst all the L+ pets. And for the formation wise, this team actually uses the new Rush 2 formation. For the front line, it increases attack speed by 19.1%. For the mid line, it actually increases accuracy rate of universal heroes. And for the back line, it increases attack by 12%. Okay, so it's a very standard and generic formation to use. For the second formation, it's actually the same one. It is the Infiltration 2 formation. And the last one is the Swift Attack 2 formation, which we don't have yet, but just to keep in mind, these are some of the better formations used in PvP in future. Same for the current tank team, I would say. Okay, a Rudy plus pet, very good. Jave pet, very good. Rue is also very good. Top 3 pets used for this particular comp. And for the best formations for this comp, it includes the Block formation, which 55% of the players use for this particular team. And then you have the Block 2, and finally the last one is the Tactical formation for status effect resistance. Yep, so basically the rest are pretty much the same. Okay, if you scroll down, you will see a lot of similar faces. Just to go through with you guys for Ace, okay, 65% of the people use him with the attack speed set. Sometimes they also give him Lethargy accessories, okay, on top of the Rage Immortal and Ace earrings itself. Formation wise, this is also the Infiltration 2 formation, okay. The last one is the Bombardment 2 formation. So you can see that the formations themselves also have a growing and a changing meta. And also take note that formations in future will also have further enhancements to them. So what you see right now, they are the base stats for the formation. It does not include the various customizations you can do. But players are using these base formations as a base to further improve on them and to come up with better strategies for PvP. As you can see, if you scroll downwards, okay, as I mentioned, it's really just a mix and match of all the other current heroes, but more or less you will see Mythical Ace at the bottom with a lot of the offensive heroes together at the bottom, with only 1% being used. Okay, what I feel is that probably because Ace is still a relatively new hero in the Korean meta, people may not have enough resources to get him yet. So in future, maybe in 1 to 2 months time, when people are able to get him easier, the utility and usage of his teams may rise, and we will see a kind of like a bigger shift in the current rankings in terms of PvP teams. Okay. So over here is the Guild War. I'm not going to talk about it because it's roughly the same. And we also have PvE content, statistics for PvE content, and this is the gold dungeon. So as you can see, the best gold team, probably the fastest team, is the Alice, Carl, Rin, and Yeonhee team. Okay, with all the other familiar faces you have below in the rankings. I think the reason why they are using this is because Rin is such a good AoE damage dealer. She always crits. Yeonhee, if you were to look at her setup later on, I'll show you guys, also very high crit chance. For Carl, he is a fixed damage dealer, so every few attacks he will do a fixed damage to all enemies, and I think that is why he is being used, because he is so fast in helping you clear the gold dungeon. He's run on an attack speed set with a triple destiny. Okay, he also probably uses full moon, okay, to increase his area of damage. And yeah, for Yeonhee, she is mostly run on the crit set now in PvE context with triple destiny as well. Okay, and 1 transcended or the Ace ring. And yeah, basically moving forward in PvE, most of your damage dealers will be running triple destiny with 1 transcended or with an Ace ring. Okay, that's the most standard combination for maximum damage output. So we also have Rin, but the thing is when you click on Rin, the statistics show kind of like a PvP setup. So the only problem I have with this system is that it doesn't differentiate between heroes used in PvE and PvP. It doesn't differentiate the gear used. So it could be that when many players use Rin in PvE, it may affect the overall statistics generated for her stuff in PvP as well. And for Soulstone Dungeon, as you can see, it's a very standard team. Okay, range heroes, Chris, Cosette, Shay and Lina. For the pets, Yonhee pet is actually more preferred over the Shane pet somehow. So I think if you don't have the Shane pet, it's okay. You can still use the Yonhee pet in PvE content to a very well extent. The formation used is all Bombardment 2 for the maximum attack speed. Okay, for Soulstone Dungeon, it is pretty standard. Nothing much, but you can work towards using these teams and changing it up however you like. Okay, and then we have the Elixir Dungeon. In the Elixir Dungeon, the players in Korea use the same range comm, okay, for the Elixir Dungeon as well, with the Yonhee pet as well. Many people actually use the Yonhee pet over the Shane pet somehow, maybe because of Shay. Yeah, I don't know. In fact, it's possible to run more melee-oriented comms as well, such as having Evan and Rachel. Okay, but many of them prefer the range comm. I think it's just more standard and easier to, just have one fixed setting for all the dungeons. This is the Rune Dungeon. Okay, so for the Rune Dungeon, again, it's the same comm at the top of the list. Okay, and then followed by the melee comm is actually at the 4th slot. I'm actually surprised that they don't use Adele as much for all these dungeons, but they rely on Evan Plus more. Yeah, so in this case for Rachel, she does use the skill up set more commonly in the Korea server with the time reversal accessories. This will actually reduce the attack and defense of the enemy, PvE enemies, so that's pretty good. You also give her time acceleration, revive, or some people even give her triple destiny for damage output purposes. And I think I don't have to really talk about the rest, but for Evan, he's actually run mostly on the attack set and not the attack speed with triple destiny and transcended. Accessory for Cosette, she's still mainly on the crit, but of course this ultimately depends on whether your team has a crit or whether you have destiny accessories, because if you don't, then crit makes sense. But if you don't, the attack set comes in as second best. And the other 3 combination of accessories apart from the Destiny are the Ace Earring, Transcended and Cosette Ring. For Chris, he's mainly used on skill up, okay, as you can see, and his top combination is actually double revive and rage. You can also give him time reversal for him to act as a better debuffer in terms of decreasing defense and attack of the enemy. And for Lina, skill cooldown is the best set for her with time acceleration and revive. For Shay, it will be attack speed for sure. 60% of the players use it with Transcending, okay, combination with the Ace Earring because it gives increased attack speed. So Ace Earring, you probably want to aim for 4 copies for PvE purposes if it really comes down to that. And for Ruby, she's actually used on the attack speed set with the triple destiny and 1 transcended. Okay, so just bear this in mind because Ruby is likely to come out in global server pretty soon, I would say. And then we have the EXP dungeon. Okay, obviously no one is using range heroes here. So the best comp for this is actually Evan plus Shane plus Dylan's and Rachel. For Dylan's, he's on the attack set, triple destiny, 1 transcended. The formation used is actually the crit formation, and the best pet is the Shane pet. We also have raid comps, raid statistics. Of course, the best comp, or rather the more ideal and safe comp is the Gillahan, Cosette, Len, and Lina comp. Okay, best pet is Shane pet with the Bombardment 2 formation. Okay, the Karin and Lina are pretty interchangeable. As you can see, the statistics, the percentages, the gap between their percentages are not that big. Okay, and I think you can use them depending on what you like. So yeah, Bombardment 2 formation is used the most in PvE, followed by the crit formation. Same for the variant raid. Okay, the variant raid prioritizes in crit formation with the Nestra Shane pet, and the team, again, Karin and Lina are interchangeable. Really depends on what you prefer. Okay, whether you want to heal more or rather be more defensive and safe, or you want to have an attack buffer. Okay, and then for the Lizardra raid, it will be Lina as the top with Karin very close second. and you can see the pet variations also are different, with the crit formation being the most used and the bombardment 2 being the second most used. The percentages are really close here, so you can actually just use either one. You can see that for the current comp, even the swift formation is used. Okay, this is for Dunfrost. For Dunfrost, Lina is used with Cosette, Shane and Adele. Crit formation is preferred here. And then finally we have the Nestra Shane raid. Okay, here we are mostly using Cosette, Evan, Len and Scott. Okay, they are mostly using, but as you can see, the percentage of this is very low, okay, for the top team, right? So what you can conclude from this is that there's a variety of teams used for the Nestra Shane raid. There's no fixed team or preferred team. It's just that many more players are skewed towards using LAN, but as you can see in the second team and the third team, people are not using the suppressor at all. And yeah, it's all many different team compositions you can use, and I'm surprised Adele is finally there in the rankings. Team 9 is actually something I see myself using, okay, with the crit formation. So yeah, moving down is all about a mix and match of heroes, possible heroes, which explains why the percentages are so low for the Nestra Shane raid. We also have the statistics for 8-man raids. So for 8-man raids, you can see the best team is actually a very melee DPS oriented team. 4 DPSs, Dylan's plus, Evan plus, Diana and Taka. Okay, the best pet is the Shane pet, and then you have 4 support heroes, Karin, Lina, Shay and Clement. I think the second team is probably more accessible to most players. Okay, we are only lacking Taka and Clement right now from the second team, and I'm surprised they use Ming instead of Mercure. I guess Ming is just more accessible. So this is a potential team you can see yourself using for fast clears in future as well. Okay, and I think moving down, it's pretty much also the same few heroes used for the raid. Nothing much. Okay, Mercure is actually right there, right below. Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't mean Mercure is bad, it's just that less people use him somehow. So just to show you guys some of the gear setups for these new heroes, for Evan++, he is going to be using the attack speed set, okay, with the time reversal set, which makes me feel like they kind of relegated him to PVE because usually people won't use time reversal in PvP, right? So yeah, Dylan's is actually on skill up with a very close percentage to attack speed, okay, triple destiny as well. And then we have Diana, she's on a combo chance set, triple destiny, ace earrings as well. For Taka, he's on the skill up, close second is the attack speed, okay, very close percentage, and he's also on the triple destiny with transcended. The next raid is the Catastrophe raid. As you can see, it is a support hero festival. Okay, all the support heroes you can possibly get in future will be thrown into this team. 16% of the players use the top team, the first team, and I think that is a very solid team for Catastrophe because the heals will be insane, right? And I think you can roughly, I mean, you know the idea of Catastrophe raid, right? For Legend Serena, she's actually using a skill cooldown mostly, with attack speed as a close second set. Okay, time acceleration is a must-have for her for this case. For Serena, the rare one, attack set is actually preferred, time acceleration as well. And then for Legend Shay, she's actually mostly used with the HP set with the recovery set of accessories. In case you don't know what that is, it's actually the Legend one, okay, triple recovery set for this particular usage, of course. And I think in future, she'll mainly be used in Catastrophe raid only, okay, with occasional appearances in tank teams in PvP. And for current skill cooldown, of course, Rage Immortal, time acceleration accessories and recovery accessories, all these are possible. Then we have the Orochi raid, which should come when Teo hits. Okay, as you can see, the most commonly used team is actually the Clement, Lina, Taka, Evan+, Chengchen, Cosette, Rachel and Shay team. Okay, I think the second team is going to be the more accessible one. That's going to be the Rudy, Shay, Rachel, Karin, Cosette, Evan plus Theo as a suppressor, and Lina. I think the first team is more of a nuking team. Okay, the second team is more of a manual play team if you were to look at it. Because I mean, first team uses L plus pets. Not many people, not many of us are going to get them. Okay, the second team uses the Yonhee pet, which I think will be more accessible by the time this raid comes. So the second team could be something you want to at least have an idea of when it comes to the raid. Okay, the third team again focuses mainly on offensive melee nuking. Okay, very few healers if you realize, only 2 healers with a lot of offensive capabilities. We also have the guild raid setup. Okay, this is for the Thunder Dragon. The best team is the Ruri, Noho, Chris, Karin team, and then the best pet used in all the guild Thunder Dragons is the Rachel pet because of the reduced skill cooldown, and the best formation for the Thunder Dragon is the range formation because the backline gives range healers lesser skill cooldown. Okay, so this really helps Noho, who is mainly geared with the attack speed with triple destiny and 1 transcended. And I think we talked about Ruri, attack speed, okay, triple destiny, 1 transcended. And for Chris, he's on the skill up as mentioned. Okay, next up we have is the Fear Dragon. For the Fear Dragon, 34% of the players use the top team, mainly Cosette. As you can see here, most players, I think over 50 or 60% of the players in Korea use Cosette here. Skill up is preferred on Seek with triple destiny and time acceleration. If you look at the other two, it is actually the rare and greater accessory sets that also are used with him. I think about 2% of the player base uses those accessories. So kind of interesting. Yeah, but mainly the Cosette team is just really good here. And then finally for the Silence Dragon, you have Lizardra as the best pet. And the best team is Kagura, Gilahan, Adele, and Rachel. Kagura is a hero that increases crit damage, okay, for the team. You can also use Alice. Alice increases attack speed and movement speed. So it's either Alice or Kagura as the main healer for this particular raid. But if you look at the Kagura team, the formation used, the preferred formation used is actually the accuracy formation, which increases Adele's burn probabilities. Lizardra is the best pet as mentioned. So for Kagura, she's mainly used with skill cooldown with triple full moon set with time acceleration. Okay, again the percentage is really low. Okay, so maybe there are many people that still use Rage and Immortal accessories even in Guild Raid. Okay, so just take note of that. Okay, for Gilahan, he's mainly used with 5 defense pieces. Skill up is possible, and he's also used with the Destiny set for more damage output. For Rachel, she's on skill up, okay, triple time reversal, and Adele combo trance and triple destiny. What you mainly need to take note for this particular raid is the formation. The pet use is pretty standard, 74% of the players use Lizardra here. But the formation is the one that's interesting because the most used formation is the accuracy formation, followed by the... And then if you're not using Adele, you're using Evan instead, it is either the basic formation or the crit formation. So that's all I have for this video. I hope it helped. There's a lot of information here that you can slowly digest and rewatch. So if this video helped, do give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Big shout out to my channel members Jeremy, Gonzalo, Nick, Chilling, Joseph, Zva, Nanda, Wei Cheng, Marian, Yamaki, Kevin, Harlan, Jeremy, Zon, and Giovanni for their support. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much and see you!